Hey guys, we'll do a quick video showing how to check the clearance between the top of your guide and the retainer. I see a lot of misinformation and a lot of people don't understand or think about this necessarily. Anytime you're going to be putting bigger camshafts, bigger lift, bigger ratio rockers to increase the lift, anything you do to increase the lift, or even changing brands of retainers and springs, you have to always consider this. These are a set of mid to late 80s Corvette aluminum heads, factory heads. I've done a little bit of work on, going on a mild street motor. But what you need to do, I've got the valve seal. I'm going to check this intake. You need to check at least one intake and one exhaust for sure. And I've already got this, I've got the seal I'm going to use on this guide. It's a positive type that goes down on the guide. I've got it all the way down on there and bottomed out where it's supposed to be. And you take the retainers and use the ones you're going to use the keepers you're going to use. Put your retainer and a couple keepers on here and pull your retainer up and kind of seat it a little bit where it'll stay in place. Just pull on it. And then I've got some calipers here. I'm going to measure, hopefully you can see this pretty good, but I'm going to measure from the top of this seal to the bottom of this retainer. See how much clearance I've got before it actually bottoms out. And I'm getting about 565. So what that means is I've got 565 thousandths of clearance here between guide to the seal to the bottom of the retainer. So realistically, you want at least 60 thousandths clearance. I like to see them a little bit more, but a minimum of 60 to allow for slight misadjustment, slight over rev, just anything that changes it a minor amount. You want to have at least 60 thousandths to play with. And I'd rather see more like 100 actually, but 60 minimum. So if I put a cam in here, that means if I had a cam bigger than about 505 lift, I wouldn't have 60 thousandths clearance. So I'd have to cut the valve. If I put a bigger cam or wanted to, I'd have to cut these guides down a little shorter. And all factory heads vary wildly. You can't check just one set and say, well, all these, that same kind of head are the same, because they're not. They vary all over the place. And a lot of people don't seem to realize that. They're not real consistent. Even the same casting numbers can vary, and when you're talking about checking in thousandths and as close as you're checking this stuff, any little difference matters. So always check that. If you're going to put a bigger cam or change anything, the bigger ratio rockers that would change this, make sure you got enough clearance, because at best you're going to bend push rods, and at worst you drop a valve. So you don't want it to get solid. That's the main thing. Hope that helps somebody from tearing up a motor.